Why, hello everybody, and welcome back post-COVID Myth and Mockery. This is really great to be here with everybody again.
At last, we're finally recording in person, and we get to all try and remember our characters. It's going to be great.
Hopefully will. See if I can remember what I'm doing.
I remember everything.
I haven't forgotten a single thing, and welcome back, everyone. We're excited to be on this Wagon Adventure, if I recall correctly, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe someone could fill us in on what happened?
Maybe we should rename this Wagon Adventure.
I think we just figured out the name of this episode. Why don't we go around and remind everyone what our character names are, and then Jeremy can do a recap.
You like how I forgot my character's name in the last little shout out? Well, I'm Jezebel, or Belle.
My name is Gray.
I'm Bob Gravelle, and I play everyone's favorite grumpy boy, Ulysses Highwind.
And I'm Jessica, and I'll be playing Adaris.
And I'm Jer, the DM of this wonderful adventure, who plays every other character.
Everybody else.
And with that, welcome back to Myth and Mockery. We last left off with our four adventurers having procured a wagon and a couple of horses from Grump to help them find their way north and hopefully discover a plague almost of ne'er-do-wells terrorizing the countryside, hindering trade which they learned from Lathander, up and down the trade route from the province known as the Crossroads into our lovely Glimmer. And with that we find Adar and Belle hidden underneath a canvas amongst the goods of the wagon, and we have Gray and Ulysses driving the cart, having a wonderful conversation when they stumble upon the last ambush site. With that, welcome back.
Okay, now if I remember correctly, the two of them, and by them I mean Belle and Adaris, are under a cloak or a blanket or something?
Under a large canvas tarp that was provided by Grump, along with the goods
Mr.
to be delivered to the Crossroads.
Grump the Stump.
Man after my own heart. Okay, so now is our wagon stopped?
We set up camp, I believe.
I believe it's slowing down, and you guys were preparing to set up camp. You'd noticed that there was a bunch of dead bodies and such at that campsite, though. Like, it was recently ambushed.
Not to play spoilers, but I believe at the end of the last episode we rolled for initiative. Is that correct?
Should we re-roll for
I
initiative?
think we should re-roll for initiative. Yes.
All right. Let's do this.
But first, I think you two should make perception checks. Gray and Ulysses, please.
Gray can see everything with a 19.
And Mr. Ulysses, who doesn't seem to be paying that much attention, gets a 10.
Yeah, with that, Gray, you do notice from the footsteps, the footprints, you would notice this, Ulysses, that there are goblin and humanoid footprints throughout the ambush site. Gray, you do notice two smallish figures hiding off in the woods, just at the edge of the clearing. And as you scan around, you do notice there's three more larger figures off into the other side of the clearing. With that, yes, we can all roll initiative.
Let's do this.
I might be able to see all, but I don't act first.
With that, anyone above 25?
22 with a nat 20 on this bad boy. First roll is a nat 20.
22 for you, Lee,
He's on this.
anyone 20 to 15?
I'm 15.
15, okay.
Gray got 11.
11 for Gray.
Adaris got 12. So haha. I'm so fast in my wagon.
I was too busy telling Yuli, look, it's an ambush.
Gray, you were at 11.
He was already out of his seat. I know it was a damn ambush. Trying to ambush the ambush. Never said he was a smart man.
What is Gray and Ulysses doing really quick?
Okay, so I think Ulysses is going to shout goblins, to sort of alert his comrades.
So right before he would shout that, I would tell them like,
Or maybe not.
there's like I would tell him, oh, there's goblins nearby, and then he would shout it because he's much louder than I am.
Okay.
So I'd say I'm right beside you then.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so you two, Adar and Belle, as you're underneath the heavy canvas in amongst the trade goods, you guys would hear them yell out, goblins.
A wild shape.
Okay.
Ooh.
First time?
For your surprise action, what would you like to do? Anything?
She's gonna rip off the canvas and say, surprise!
Okay.
Thank God I wild shaped. A panther.
A panther, okay. With that, Ulysses, you slowly look around. You do notice two goblins at the very edge of the clearing, amongst the birch and the poplar. And then as you pan around looking east towards Glimmer, you do notice there's three humans in tattered clothing, in salvage bits of weapons and such.
Okay, so these guys don't seem particularly funded or organized, correct?
No, they do not.
What is the nearest or grandest threat to me?
The closest would be the goblins.
Okay.
They do have them armored. They have shield, small clubs.
Okay.
They look to have like short bows.
Okay, so Ulysses draws his longsword and his shield. I mean, you can't draw a shield. That'd be pretty impressive. And he's just going to... so do I have enough movement to get to the first goblin?
Yeah, they're within 30 feet of you.
All right, let's kick this first goblin's ass. Long sword, just a straight up slash. Oh, that was almost a 1. 18.
You said almost a 1 and then an 18. Huh. Yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
11 damage.
Oh, yeah, with that, Ulysses. Even before that poor little goblin sees it coming, he tries to bring his shield up in time, but you just cleave right through him.
Oh, like butter.
Just like butter. The second one just kind of looks at him and is like all scared and cringing. You hear a voice come from the woods that you haven't seen yet. Just start barking orders. But after that...
In common?
In common. Just barking orders at both the goblins and the bandits, the human bandits. At which point the human bandits come rushing out. 2 of them come running straight towards Belle as she jumped up and was like, "Here I am!" AC there, Belle?
19.
That's a hit from the scimitar.
You guys are tough.
You're going to take 4 points of slashing damage. Sorry, 3 points of slashing damage. My bad.
All right.
The second one misses as it comes in swinging. You lift your leg up just in time. Your foot just comes over the top of the scimitar and it swishes underneath the air. And then the third one raises its light crossbow, firing it at you with an 11. So I'm going to say that's a miss.
It is. Dodges out of the way.
Ulysses, the second goblin's within 5 feet of you, petrified of you just slashing its companion in half, turns and starts to run. So you get your attack of opportunity on him.
Where is he running?
Running more towards the north side, skirting the edge of the
Let's just make
woods.
a straight-ass attack of opportunity here.
Okay.
That is a 17.
That's a hit.
All right. With 7 damage.
And that one, as it's running, you just comes across with your longsword, just cutting deeply into its back. Falls face first into the ground, lifeless, at your feet. With that, Belle, what would you like to do?
Well, I am going to slash at the one who slashed at me with my long sword. And I'm going to miss terribly with a 7, because that was totally a nat 1. But I will use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on Gray.
Okay.
Because I can cast on other people, right?
That's sweet.
Yeah, you put your Shield of Faith on other people. As you lift your leg up over the scimitar, as you come back down, you kind of lose your balance a little bit, and your swing is a little off as you're off balance. And the human bandit kind of ducks his head, pops back up. And with that, we move to Adar.
Great. So I'm a panther, and
Awesome.
I am going to... There's still another human nearby, correct?
As far as you can tell, there's something in the woods still screaming out in common.
Okay. So I'm going to run at the thing that's screaming in common,
Okay.
and
how would you like straight through, or would you like to move around?
I would try to avoid other enemies.
Okay, yeah, we'll say easily enough. The two of them are focused. The other one with its light crossbow starts to trying to track you,
Okay.
but it hasn't fired at all. So,
I'm a sneaky panther.
yeah.
Yeah. Can I bite this person that's yelling?
You get into the edge of the forest and you see it's this rather large human.
Okay.
His hair's all ratted and he's dirty. He's more heavily armored with 2 scimitars over his back, daggers along his belt. It's just out of your range to actually bite at, though.
Gotcha. I'll stand there and look really intimidating as a panther and just like, "Err."
Okay.
Doesn't sound like a
Let's
convincing
see.
panther at all.
Make an intimidation check for me.
Perfect. Let's roll that. Oh god. Okay, that was a 4 plus, so that's 7. 7 intimidation.
Well, you only had to beat a 4 on his charisma check against your intimidation. Yes. So, yeah, you actually see a little slight tremble in his right hand, and you see a little bit of a wet spot maybe starting to form a little bit in his midsection, as he's not ever seen a panther in this area of Gillandori, in this area of the province. So yeah, with that, he's trembling a little bit. And then we go to Gray.
So I'd like to make my way over and attack the one that Bell just tried to attack.
Yeah,
Would you say
for
that
sure.
he'd be distracted for an advantage?
Well, he would be at advantage anyways because he's focusing on Bell.
Excellent.
And you are a rogue, good sir.
Oh, very good.
Ooh, that's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice. I got a 16.
16 hits.
16, so I do 11 points of piercing damage as I kind of sink it in and stab him right in the side.
Yeah, with that, you just dig in and then you just dig your dagger right into him. Your short sword?
Rapier.
Rapier right into him. Twisting it, pull it out in his old entrails. The body crumples down by the wagon. The blood actually causes the horses to skittish a little bit. Make an acrobatics check for me, Bill.
Wow, I'm not rolling well. 11?
11? But yeah, with that, you're able to still maintain your balance on the wagon as it bounces a little bit from the horse's fear of the smell of blood. Anything else there?
I'll help flank the last goblin.
Okay.
And I'll try to put myself closer to the
goblins are dead. There's like two more human bandits.
Oh, in that case,
at the wagon.
All right, I'll just kind of stay beside Bell for now.
Okay, Ulysses.
Okay, so there are 2 humans left, and then the human with the scimitars, correct?
Yeah, but you can't see the captain yet.
Okay, sure.
He's still in the woods.
All right. So then, who's the next closest target to Ulysses?
You would turn around and you would see that Belle is standing on the wagon. The horses are kind of getting skittish and bouncing up and down. The wagon bounced a little bit, causing her almost to fall, her to stumble a little bit, but gain her footing. Mm-hmm. You see Gray just finishing one off really quick, pulling a rapier out. Mm-hmm. There within 30 feet of you. Okay.
So let's close that gap and continue on this rampage of violence. That's all good fighters are wont to do.
All right, yeah.
And I had enough movement to close the distance there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so here we go. Long sword. 18. I'm rolling like a beast
a
today.
hit. 18 is a hit.
Oh, yeah. And 6 damage?
Oh, hey, look at that. Someone survived. Someone survived so far. We'll take it.
Not for long.
Not for long. Yeah, he kind of looks at you, panting and such, though, and blood kind of drilling down one side of his arm as you slash down his offhand. Kind of with that, the one with the 2 scimitars closes the distance with you, Adar, and attacks. 10 is going to be a miss.
Correct.
22 is probably not a miss.
No, that hits.
Did we decide if we were going to take any of these guys alive?
We didn't talk about it, and I don't think...
Now's not the time for strategy. That comes later.
As you guys are debating this, Adar, you take 3 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
3 points of slashing damage from the scimitar. And the final attack, he
These guys are just like
stabs out with his dagger.
Okay.
our ambush.
Don't ambush us. We're ambushing you.
19 is a hit.
Yeah, that hits.
I think.
I'm regretting my decision.
4 points of piercing damage.
Oh, I'm still up. Okay, we're good.
And then with that, the bandits, seeing themselves starting to get a little bit overwhelmed, both of them at the same time try to disengage from both of you. So you, Ulysses and Gray, you both get attacks of opportunity.
There's two near us, or is it just the one?
There's two.
Okay.
Oh, Belle would too. Sorry, Belle.
Okay.
Yeah, from your, and you would get advantage having the high ground there, Belle.
Sweet.
I've got the high ground.
Because I need it the way I'm rolling.
Gray tries to swipe at him with a 9.
It was a miss.
And that
21.
That's a
Plus
miss.
It's because you were excited before.
I know.
And 21. Yeah, you hit the one that Ulysses just laid
12
into.
damage.
12 damage, and you just cleave his head almost like in two. Kind of a look of disbelief as well as the blade comes down through his head. The other one, though, starts fleeing for his life, running as fast as he can towards the north. Bell.
Ooh, how far has he fleed
He is
so far?
30 feet away from you. Well, 35 feet away from you now.
So can I run and grapple him?
He's 35 feet.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, I have a javelin.
Okay.
And that's a nat 20.
He did not stand a chance. Do not anger Bell.
13. Because I rolled really bad in those pieces.
Oh, yeah, with that, the javelin whistles. Gray, Ulysses. Even Adar, you hear whistle as this javelin just flies through the air, finding purchase right at the base of his neck, and the spear tip just pointing right out through his Adam apple, and he just falls face first down in the dirt.
You see this look in Ulysses' eyes like, damn, girl.
With that, now it's Adar's turn.
So the one that just fell, was that the captain in front of me?
No.
No, okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to bite him.
Okay.
I lunge forward, taking advantage of his slightly scared nature. Oh,
I'll give you advantage on that because he's
thank
intimidated by you.
God. So that was a nat 1. But we're going to roll a second dice. Oh, that's way better. Cool. So that's a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
And... Sorry, I'm learning Panther stuff. I do 3 damage
Okay.
as I bite at him.
As you, you bite into his teeth, sinking through his studded leather armor, but not getting the penetration you would like. You still cause a little bit of damage to his foot. To use a medical term, his tib meets his fibia. His fibia meets his tibia. But yeah, right there at the ankle joint, you kind of dig in your teeth. With that, we will go to Gray.
Excellent. So this is the only enemy left over, right?
All you can hear is some rustling now off into the woods, more towards the south of the clearing, where Adaris ran in her panther form. And at first, you're like kind of starting to wonder, I think, where your friend went, as a large cat jumped out of the wagon.
I'll make my way over there.
Okay.
Seems appropriate.
So yeah, you make your way to the edge of the forest, and you can see about 10 feet into the forest, you can see a rather large human, this bulky leather padded armor with some like almost like rhinestones sticking out of it, battling your panther friend.
Excellent. Very good. I would like to use my short bow.
Okay.
Would you say I have advantage on that?
Yes.
I would like to do a non-lethal
Sure.
attack if possible. 24?
24 is a hit.
All right, then I shall do for 8 points of
8 points of
piercing
damage.
damage with my short bow.
Alrighty. Ulysses.
All right. So I think he's going to move as quickly as he can towards the rustling.
Okay.
Does that get me to him?
You come up about 10 feet shy as well.
Okay, then
right
I'd like to
beside-
use my action surge to try and flank the guy.
Yeah, you're able to get up and around him. Which side would you like? North, south?
Whatever way he's not facing.
He's facing.
On his offhand, if possible.
He's facing towards Adar right now. So.
So opposite
he-
Panther.
Yeah, opposite Panther.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm trying to flank this bad boy. So
Okay. So you get around more to the western side of him.
correct.
As Adar is on the eastern side.
Yeah. How's he looking?
He's raring to go. He's almost in this rage, like fighting. You can see like in his eyes that he lives for battle. And
All right. Well, since he likes battle so much, he's gonna get a slash in the back.
okay,
Ugh. 8.
8. Yeah, that's a miss.
Whoops.
Yeah, as you like swing at him, he just kind of brings the one scimitar back and just tink,
Impressive.
and then turns his attention back to your feline friend in front of him. With that, I believe it's his turn. Unless you have Your bonus action was
Yeah,
your
I
action.
got a
Oh, no, you still have-
mechanics. I got a mechanics question. Does
Yes.
flanking grant advantage or disadvantage?
You would have rolled with advantage on that, yes.
Oh, then
So
can
you
I roll again?
You can roll again, yes.
Sweet.
Thanks for reminding
No
me.
problem.
It's
No, it
been a
was an
bit-
8 again.
Okay.
The dice
So, yeah.
tell the story.
Even retroing it. Doot, doot, doot. Same thing. Blocks it.
Great.
Scimitar comes back, dings it out of the way.
All right.
And now it's his turn. He's going to focus on his cat friend.
Friend.
Yes.
Miss with his first swing of his scimitar. His second scimitar comes slashing around. I don't think it's hit at 15.
That hits.
Oh.
I'm a panther.
Oh, yes. I screwed up the armor.
I have very, very nice fur, but it's not very resistant to swords.
But why?
We gotta get you some of that like Battle Cat
that's-
He-Man armor. in Panther form.
Yes.
That is 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
With that, he turns and slashes out with his dagger at Ulysses for a 23.
Oh, that obviously hits.
And that will be, 7 points of piercing damage from the dagger. With that, Ulysses, Adaris, you both get attacks of opportunity as he starts to run towards the north.
Heck yeah. It's a 9 to hit again.
That's a miss.
I'm not used to driving a panther.
18 to hit.
18's a hit.
4 damage.
4? Okay. So with that, you slash again, cutting the upper back meaty part of his thigh as he's running towards the north as fast as he can. With that, Belle.
I'm going to run as fast as I can over there.
Okay.
My full 30 feet. How far is he from me?
He would be about 15 feet at you this
Okay,
time.
I'm
Even
going
though you're
to-
making that like angle cut at him as you're running.
Like I'm talking to a misbehaving dog. I'm going to say, sit, boy, and cast command.
Okay. What's the saving throw?
14.
15, and that's charisma, right?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. He sits. Yes! Sits down on the ground.
Good boy.
With that, we'll play out the round of combat and then see what you guys want to do. Adaris, you watch as he's running. All of a sudden, you just hear Belle say, sit, and he stops and sits down on the ground.
I do that cat thing where I just like go and brush up against him with a side and then just sit in front of him. Again, just looking intimidating to make sure he doesn't run away.
Okay. Gray?
I'm gonna close the distance so that I'm 10 feet away from him if I can, and then I'll just have my bow drawn and just like kind of be pointing at him, and I'm gonna wait. If he gets up and runs, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. Can you read command to me really quick, Ulysses?
Yeah.
Think about something you want to do because combat's going to come
You
back to
speak
her.
one word command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the target is undead or if it doesn't understand the language.
Okay, so yeah, anyways, yeah, I did play that a little differently, but that's okay. It still works out. Ulysses, what would you like to do?
I think he's going to get as close and just be as imposing as he possibly can with his massive frame. Long swords, like just right up against his throat. Is sitting technically prone, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So he's ready. He's ready to just right through the throat if.
Alrighty. Alrighty. With that, as he's watching himself get surrounded, he was only told to sit. As such, he is going to now try to still fight his way out of this, even though he's sitting. So he's going to swing at the kitty cat at disadvantage. And that one. So misses miserably, almost rolls his face down into the ground trying to like fight his way out of here. And misses on the second attack.
The panther just sits there and kind of like bats at the air. Are we playing a game?
And then takes the dagger and tries with his dagger and misses with his dagger as well.
If panthers could laugh, it happens.
All right. Yeah.
With that though, he's like flailing, he's trying to do everything he can to try to find his way out of here. You both were holding actions.
So I said that I was holding his actions to see if he ran away, but I think this also qualifies if he's trying to take swipes.
Yeah. So, and your action was held for probably a similar thing. If there's anything you would like to do, Ulysses,
I'd like to kick
until
him
you're done.
across the goddamn face.
Well, we're gonna let that one go
Oh
first.
yeah, because it's order. Oh no, you're in the initiative after him, so your action would be first.
So basically, I'm trying to like kick him like onto his back, right? And Ulysses says, "She said to sit, son."
I'll continue to hold. I'll wait for the big people to do what the big people do.
All right, so you completely forfeit your hold action.
Oh yes. That's
So then you're re-holding an action to watch to see what
yeah,
the big people are going to do.
I'm still waiting for the same thing.
Adaris, also, was there anything you would like to do?
I would kind of do.
Continue.
If I was first, I would. If he swung at me, I'd pounce to try and do the same thing and knock him down.
Oh, okay, so you do your pounce.
Pounce.
Sure.
Would you like me to roll anything for it?
Roll a strength check with advantage.
Okay, let's hope the dice like me better. Oh, it's 2 15s, so that's fate.
Yeah, you pounce right on him, pinning him to the ground. You get your kick ready.
Yeah.
Okay. It is his turn.
Kick
He's
his
gonna
fucking teeth
try
in.
strength off against the. Yeah, because you're holding your action, so now he's gonna try to fight his way free from Adaris's pounce.
Mhm.
Would you like to kick him in the face before he starts to struggle?
Yeah, big time.
So yeah, he's starting to struggle.
So now is that just an unarmed strike or?
Yes.
Okay.
So roll and add your strength to your.
Ooh, nat 20, baby, 25.
All right. Roll. I'll give you triple damage on that.
Oh,
too.
sick. That's a D4. So, and I roll a 4.
4.
So
Okay.
12 damage.
12
from a
damage.
kick to the teeth or nose or whatever it is. in here.
Face area.
Face.
12
area.
damage. We'll make one of these checks for him. With the nat 20 to see if he stays conscious from a Constitution saving throw. He shakes it off as there's like blood and spit now oozing out of his mouth. With that, Belle.
I will skip over there with my last 30.
Does command take break with damage?
It's a rune. It's a round.
Oh, okay.
It's a round. So I will just sit in front of him and help. I will grapple him, I guess. But I would like to do it in such a way that I have him so I can give him a noogie at the end.
All right. So
or like pat his head. And
make
be
a
like,
strength
"Good
check
boy."
with advantage, like a grappling check. Yeah. Strength. Athletics
Athletics.
with advantage.
24.
Yeah, you have him
I'm
in
gonna
a
rub
big
his
headlock. You kind of pushed Adaris back a little bit. You got him locked up.
I will ruffle his hair and say, "Good boy."
Adaris, what would you like to do?
She's definitely got this, so I just sit. I'm
Alright.
I'm staying in panther form.
With that, as he's been completely neutralized and held back by Belle, we'll say he stops squirming. His breathing kind of lessens. He realizes now that the odds are not in his favor. What would you guys like to do?
Oh, I would like to take out my serrated dagger and saunter on over.
Okay. Ulysses?
So he's being grappled, correct?
He is, yes.
She's got him like, she's sitting like cross-legged and has him in her lap and playing with his hair.
All right.
With one arm, like.
He looks like he's given up. Is that in his eye? Or can I roll an insight?
Make an insight check.
5.
5. As many of the battles as you've been through, Ulysses and such, you don't really see him. Can't get a read on him.
Okay. I'm gonna try and frisk him then, and see if he's got anything on him. Any notes?
Sure,
or
make
anything,
an investigation check.
Certainly. 5.
You find some coins, mainly copper, a piece of shoestring for some reason, like a twine. You don't really find anything written down on paper.
Okay.
Belle, as you have him in your ever-loving headlock embrace.
She's just beaming. Do you see how it worked, guys? It totally worked. He sat down in everything.
Yes, he did. And I'll just kind of make my way over. I'm like, you can stop resisting. It'll be okay. You'll probably live through this if you answer all of our questions.
Adaris.
I would just like to snarl to try and intimidate him, or give Andrew help on intimidating, whatever makes sense.
You guys can make a group intimidation check with advantage. All 4 of you get advantage.
Is Belle really that intimidating?
You're gonna get you have him in a headlock.
The thing
Belle.
about advantage, I just
You
roll
have
a
him in
0.
headlock.
I just rolled a 0.
With advantage?
No. 12 or 13 with advantage.
13.
24.
24.
22.
22.
15.
He doesn't even flinch anymore. He just lays there, face down, getting his hair noogied by Belle. He's realized now, all the fight has left him. He realizes now that he's captured.
Here you go. Was that so hard?
I'm naming him Matthew.
Very good. So Matthew, tell us your name.
Matthew.
Very good. I like how this is starting already.
Okay, so I'm just trying, for my own knowledge, I'm just trying to put together exactly what we know and the reason we're even on this quest. So we've been told that
Once you went to take your spoils from the warg and collect the bounty from Baris, you had found that the merchant guard had come racing into town. His horse was blown. He'd barely survived the ambush. He got out in time. He was able to bring the horse. He rode the horse and dragged a wagon basically behind it. The wagon wheel was broken and such. So you had heard rumblings of chaos and despair from Lathander at the Mage's Tower. Mm-hmm. At which point he suggested you return to Glimmer, which the four of you did. On the way there, you'd killed the warg. And when you were collecting the bounty, you had heard of this ambush, so you had spent the night, and then in the morning you found out about this in the morning, and then you formed your party's plan to try to see if you can lay an ambush for the ambushers, which you successfully did.
Okay, so I think Ulysses is going to try and what's what I'm looking for, interrogate him a little bit. Why are you attacking the wagons on the way to Glimmer?
He looks around. He's thinking, starting to weigh his options of how can I get out of this alive type thing. So he's looking at the four of you, realizing he's very outmatched right now, not even understanding where this beast of a cat came from.
Belle will press a little more forcefully at his hair, like pull a bit.
Okay, and then a grimace. And then our mistresses demanded that we sow chaos and bring certain goods that we may find back to the lair.
Well, who's your mistress?
I do not know.
You follow someone who you don't know?
It's that or be burned to death.
I can think of worse ways to die.
Have you ever burned to death?
Once.
With that, you do get a faint smell of something, Belle, as you're closest to him right now.
Ew, I think he peed on me.
He wore the brown pants today.
So where's the lair?
It's to the south.
Okay, I'd like to roll insight to see if he's lying.
Sure.
As he's ascertaining, I'd be like, so where do you drop off the goods that you take from people? You must have a spot instead of merely to the south.
Ulysses?
5.
You're not sure. You can't get a read on this guy.
Which of us has better people skills than Mr. Grumpy Brows over here?
With that, he does say to you rather quickly, to the south. Adaris?
I would like to... She's also not great with people. So she stays at a Panther thinking she's got a better shot at helping.
Okay.
I would like to, with my keen smell, sniff around a bit and see if I can figure out which direction these guys came from.
Sure, make a survival check.
I have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Yeah, I'll give you
that's
advantage
cool.
on this.
Okay. That one on the second roll. So fate, that's an 18.
18. As Belle, Gray, and Ulysses, as you watch, you see Adaris in her cat form start kind of prowling the entire now ambush site, campsite. Ulysses, you particularly deciding you're done with questioning. Your struggles of getting a read on this one is not not with you today. So you turn and you watch as Adaris kind of goes around. Adaris, you do start to see that even though he told Gray south, you notice that more of the foot traffic, the heavier footprints and such, is the ground has been trodden over more. is more towards the north. And as you spend a little more time in exploring the northern edge of the clearing into the spruce and the balsam and such, you notice there's a small yet narrow path leading off towards the north.
They also were trying to retreat to the north, if I remember correctly. Don't know why I said that in my character voice.
And my interrogators, Belle and Gray.
So, to the south, you say, a little bit more information. My panther appears to be pretty hungry right now.
Make an intimidation check.
I'm good at these ones. It's not bad, 16.
He kind of starts looking more towards the north, but finding a little bit of courage in himself, he starts to the south. We always go towards the south.
Okay, so you suck at lying, and that's okay, because if you would like to live, we need the information. And if you tell me everything I want to know, I promise to let you go.
Will you let her off of me right now?
Something for something. You need to speak up first, and the truth, because you suck at it. Lying, of course.
Oh, yeah, he does. He tries to sound confident, and he looks at you, takes in the whole situation. Yeah, we take it to the north. Yeah, all the goods go to the north. There's a cave. Our hideout is behind a waterfall. From there, I don't. And he's eyeing and trying to find the way to be most believable now. He's not trying to he's trying to now build his confidence in you, build his confidence of himself with you guys, build trust. So he starts to answer your questions more freely. Towards the end of the conversation, you don't really get any more information because you learn that he doesn't truly know too much. He's sent somewhere to disrupt something and take the goods back to their hideout.
Oh, very good, Matthew. See, was that so difficult?
No, but can I have a different name than Matthew?
You said your name was Matthew.
Gus. We can name you Gus. Can we name him Gus?
And he looks around. I'll take Gus. I don't want to be a Matthew. My old man was a Matthew, and as you can see, I turned to a life of villainy.
Dad sucks sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and so as promised, Belle, you can keep the arm around the neck, but you can remove the other arm because he wanted a little bit of help, and I think
She will stop giving him a noogie, and then she will move to just giving him a bear hug. So she's just sitting behind him, bear hugging him.
an improvement. Look at this, something for something. But like I said, I promise to let you go.
She'll even give him an exaggerated smooch on the cheek.
As you kiss him, you do hear this groan of pain as you're squeezing a couple of his wounds a little more tightly. You can feel the ooze of his bodily fluids coming out of him.
Not too hard. He's squishy right now.
We might have to bathe after this. Oh, I have a question. How long have you struggled with incontinence?
Just today. And Adaris, what would you like to do?
I come sauntering back at that moment, and I change out of Panther form back to myself. And yeah.
As Adaris makes her way back, the three of you notice your cat friend morph now back into her normal human-ish figure.
I scratch behind my ear slightly as a leftover habit, and I go, so what do we have to do with him now? Do we just leave him here?
Well, we could take him to Glimmer to see what the locals want to do with him. Or we could kill him.
Hey!
Oh! She didn't speak for me, son. You were lying to me, and I don't like lying.
Honey?
He very much doesn't like lying.
My coin? And she'll kind of try to put side of her side there.
Oh, that's all. I'll pick up her coin. I'm like, well, I did say I would let you go. I just never said what my other friends wanted to do.
We could store him in the wagon. We do have a wagon.
Let me ask you something, son. What are you going to do if we let you go?
I'm gonna run south.
Attaboy.
Piracy.
Attaboy. Ships. I like ships. I hope if we let you go, I don't want to see you again. Understand?
Okay. Gus out.
And we want you to strip naked.
And she'll like clap her hands excitedly. At this point, he's actually let go because she's clapping.
With that, he starts to strip off the padded
Adaris turns around. Out of
leather.
respect.
Starts kind of dropping, and he ends up like, the cartoon figures. He's kind of cupping and trying to hide everything. He's going kind of beet red. You do notice there's a wet stream of something wet drying on his legs.
Adaris is just shaking her head on the side of the road, just being like, "People, this is what happens when you make friends and do things together."
She will just wave at him and say, "Goodbye, Gus. Good luck with your father issues."
I think that's it. That he turns and just starts running blindly.
To the south?
He's just running like south as fast as he can.
He was running north.
With wounds on his body.
Wounds all over his body. You hear a distinct as he runs and smashes into a tree, and just all you hear is woods and twigs and everything just breaking as he's running. And with that, he's run off and left the four of you with his dead companions, along with
And his gear?
it's he's got stinky, horrible studded leather, but
Specifically, those scimitars seem
two
pretty
very
cool.
decently serviceable scimitars, and you do notice that his dagger's missing, though.
I wonder where he hid that.
I don't think I want to know the answer.
Well, I think we need a shower break. I am presently covered in blood and shit.
I'll give you back your coin.
So that was educational.
Very.
The path to the north is pretty small. I don't think our wagon could fit down it. So showering, we need to do something with the wagon. Maybe we return to town, or do we go chase this lead down now?
She has her water flask and already trying to clean herself up a little.
Adaris stays turned around while you do it. Just being like, it has no idea how to deal with people.
Adaris, you would notice, though, that when you were doing your patrol and investigation in your panther form that you, or jaguar, sorry, that across the clearing looks as though it's been where caravans prior have set up their wagons for the night. It looks as though that area itself is safe enough. You didn't meet any traffic coming south. Coming from Glimmer, going west. So you never met any traffic coming east, sorry.
So it could be safer if we kind of tucked it away. We could also leave a note and say, hey, we're trying to stop the ambushes. Please respect our things. BRB.
What is this BRB you speak of? I've never heard of this term before.
I don't know. I stuttered really weird. It just came out.
Oh. We could do that. I'm not a fan of killing everyone I come across anyways.
Bella's gonna be at the cart with the wolf head going, "You're going to abandon me?" And making it move like a puppet.
We are leaving that here, right? Everyone votes to leave that here. Anyone on my... No one else is putting their hand up.
Bella will look at Gray and give him puppy dog eyes.
To me.
Oh my god, are we bringing the wolf?
It makes her happy. Like, Ulysses, he's right, as you're saying, like, he's like, at this point, like, he's trying to like find someone, like, just kind of like put his weapons away. He's like kind of like cleaning off his hands a little bit with a little bit of water.
All right. It's fine. I'll just remember to not turn into a wolf.
Probably a wise idea. So what's the game plan here? Are we heading back to town, or are we following this lead?
I'm ready to follow this lead still. I'm loving the woods.
Maybe we can take a short rest first, because I am feeling a little sore in my left arm, just a tad.
And my actions feel a little less surgy, so...
Well,
Fair.
if we are gonna bed in the cart, we should probably bury the head. It's gonna stink if we just leave it here.
It's true. It's like we need to find a box with some way to keep it cold and fresh.
We could just let it go.
You could let it go.
It's okay. You know what?
I'll
Honey,
get another one.
You'll find another one. There will always be another thing for you to enjoy.
I would like to mention that time to time I can turn into an animal, so please ask first before decapitating unknown creatures.
To be fair, it attacked me first.
Truth, I will never attack you
Then
as far as I can
then
tell
I
right
will
now.
never cut off your head.
We have an agreement.
Compact has been reached. What a good day for us.
Oh, or any other part.
I'm scared that you had to clarify that, but I appreciate it at the same time.
Clarification's important.
Ulysses, what are you doing during all of this?
Honestly, I think he's just tuning it out. Just like, let's go already.
So short rest on the wagon.
After we bury the head.
You can bear the head. You're much bigger than I am.
All right. Ooh, can you get me my javelin? I think it's somewhere in someone's throat over there. And I will
Sure.
start digging to bury this head.
All right.
Because we're pretty far from anywhere.
Yeah, you're Adaris, Gray, and Belle. The three of you would realize from your travels east to Glimmer that you know you're still a day from the small village where you guys had acquired the one horse that made it more of a 2-day journey instead of the 3-hour journey that Gray was told it was going to be on foot.
I just want to point out she just dug a grave for the wolf head and there's a bunch of corpses just around it.
Should we add any of these to the, or would that disrespect the wolf head? Do they look like bandits or do they look like poor travelers that
Now admits the bandits that were lying in wait for any travelers coming through. You do notice that there is fresh corpses from earlier in the day still there.
I would like to, while she's burying the wolf head, gather what I perceive to be innocent people and pile them up and set them on fire away from the wolf head so that it can have its own dignified separate burial.
All right.
I would like to assist, not the wolf head. I will help the poor merchants and travelers.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. It's going to smell real bad during our short rest, but it felt like the right thing to do.
Make a survival check for me, Ulysses.
Certainly. Oops. One moment.
More of an investigation. My apologies.
Sorry, that was an investigation check?
Yes.
All right. 7.
You do, as you're looking through the wreckage and such, you do notice that there's a couple of distinct crates with distinct markings of a crest. It's a crimson and gold dragon, but it's intertwining itself. So it's like a figure 8 where the head comes back and starts eating the tail. So like the infinity sign.
Yep.
Only it's a crimson red dragon.
Okay.
And then you do notice kind of a heavily damaged kind of one. It's got the distinct markings of the Highwind family crest on it. So it's a very intricate H
Okay.
with the dots in the middle, above and below.
I think, are they empty crates? Or are they
The
closed?
one with your family crest on it is shattered.
Okay.
The other ones appear to be fairly undamaged, but there are some scuffs and some scrapes. There's in one that you're looking at, you can see that they've tried to pry it open, but it seems as though there was no give.
Okay. Then let's go and try and open these up and see if we can't figure out what they were doing here.
Sure.
Do I need to roll strength or something?
Strength,
or?
yeah.
Sure.
We'll go with strength.
17.
You budge and grunt and groan. At one point, you take your sword and you pry it in there, and it just does not seem to have a single give. You are scuffing up and damaging the crate some, but there seems to be no give in opening the crate itself.
Are there any? Can I investigate the crate to see if there are any obvious latches, hinges, or
Sure.
locks?
Make an investigation check for that.
16.
It looks like a normal crate to you.
Normal crate, huh? That I can't open.
Make a history check for me too, Ulysses.
5.
What's your favorite number today?
Why?
You are having one of the worst days of your trip so far. It's almost as disastrous as the storm that cost you your latest.
I haven't had a good day since.
No. With that, Adar and Gray, you guys have stacked the bodies. Off more towards the west, you found a nice little area away from the horses, away from whatever Belle deems she's going to be doing with her warg head. And you've made this funeral pry for them. And you watch Gray as Adar just kind of... How do you want to do it, Adar?
She just kind of flicks her hand and fire shoots out from it and lights it.
So you watch Gray as fire magically appears and just catches the entire funeral pyre on fire within seconds.
Can
Trick.
I ask one more question
You
about
can.
the Highwind crate? Is this a crate that Ulysses himself recognizes as, say, a style of crate that he would use?
No, you would not.
Very interesting.
When Belle's done, she will give a few last words.
Go right ahead, Belle.
Goodbye, my furry friend. You brought me moderate entertainment for an entire day. May the afterlife treat you well.
Amen.
And with that, you all get, if you want, a long rest.
Woo.
And welcome to level 3.
Yay!
I rolled a 4 on the level up.
And with that, you had all spent about the last 8 hours or so cleaning up the site, finding various trade goods and such that had been left behind by the bandits before they were able to take them north. Belle, you buried your warg head, shed a few tears, had your own personal monologue and epitaph
Less so on the tears, but yeah.
for it. Oh, I'm thinking 1 or 2 at least trickled down.
Maybe of humor. I think she's just doing this to be, I don't know.
Facetious?
Is there emotional constitution that she can roll to?
There can be now.
I think at this point her goal is to be as annoying as she can to Ulysses.
Can make a performance check.
17.
Yeah, it's convincing. Nearly convincing. At first, you do come off as shedding a tear, and then your companions realize that you are acting it up, hamming it up, so to say. The rest of your night passes rather uneventfully. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about or anything like before moving on?
So you turned into a panther.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. It's pretty cool.
Can you learn such a thing?
I did, but I started really young.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a similar bond with nature that allows me to summon my little fire foxy friend.
And Gray would like kind of ponder, sure, excellent.
I grew up with a lot of very wise, nature-loving people, and they showed me some things. And I didn't learn how to talk to other humans, but I'm pretty good in the woods.
Can you turn into a platypus? I always wanted to see what a platypus looked like.
Well, I have to have seen the creature, and I've also not seen a platypus, so unfortunately, no. But if we see a platypus, I will study it for you, so that I can turn into a platypus.
You're just the sweetest.
Platypuses are a myth.
Like unicorns?
No, unicorns are real.
Oh, right, sorry. Just platypuses.
Correct. It's the only one.
Maybe one day we'll see the elusive rare platypus, and I will master the art of turning my own body into a platypus.
It's the end game for druids is the platypus transformation.
It's true. No one has ever achieved it that I'm aware of, so it's a coveted thing.
I think that's how you become the arc druid.
Exactly. I'm just good with fire right now.
That's not canon. You didn't say any of that.
This is now canon.
Oh, damn it.
Collaborative storytelling.
So tell me more of this platypus or platypus creature.
So I can make fire and I can heal and apparently one day turn into the mighty platypus.
Is this some sort of 9 foot tall monstrosity? What is this thing?
It's a duck beaver. It is what happens when a duck and a beaver love each other very much.
Thought that was a deaver.
That's different. That thing floats on the water and has really big teeth.
As he's takes some wine from his flask. So he knew so little of the wilderness.
It's kind of like the half-orc of water animals.
Sure, why not?
Have you been in the woods much, Gray? You look kind of like a city folk.
I've been to the city on occasion. I was from the outskirts. Isn't that, and then made your way to the city? That's just what people do. Well, sorry, that's what I thought most people do.
I think that all of us have found our way together because we aren't most people.
That's true. You guys all seem pretty weird.
You're all very weird to me, and I don't like any of you.
But yet here you are.
A means to an end.
Cheers to that.
Well, I like you all. I like Ulysses the most.
You can actually see that his scowl warms a little.
And with that, the four of you, as your campfire is being stoked up and built up with Ulysses, putting in some extra firewood, roll over and you spend the next 6 hours or so just kind of sleeping away. Ulysses, you would be the first to stir awake in the early morning.
I think he also burnt the crates with the crest on them.
Oh, okay. The three of you watch as Ulysses starts throwing these crates into the fire.
Whoa, I thought we got paid if we recovered goods.
Wait, is that right? Well, I meant the because it was shattered, right? There was a
high wind crates.
The high wind crates. That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Sorry, I should have specified.
The high wind
the high wind
crate
crates-
itself was busted open.
The shattered one. He specifically burns the crest.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have made that way more clear.
We wake up to a crazy fire. This has got the entire clearing.
With that, though, the four of you watch as Ulysses starts gathering up the broken crates before you turn in for the night. He throws one in particular into the fire, and at that point you see this like greenish purple, like this really bright orange flare come up off that one specific crate. Ulysses, you would know it being the one with the high wind crest on it. Make Arcana checks for me, please.
I do really well with Arcana.
I got a 12.
I rolled an 11, so that's a 10.
Okay. You both notice that there's some form of magic that had just been combusted within the fire. You all feel this big blast of heat come roaring off the fire, and you all take a whopping 1 point of fire damage from the heat of that wood burning.
Ow! What? Why were you throwing that type of thing into the fire? What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, but it flared up a bit, and I'm usually pretty safe around fire, so
It seemed to be some kind of magical crate.
Huh.
Evidently, he says as he's like caressing his like burnt hand because he shielded his face.
I didn't want to know about it until you said don't worry about it. And now I want to know everything.
With that, as you pester away at Ulysses, he's a stoic man staring into the fire.
I will admit that you can see that he is emotionally perturbed, and kind of see it in his eyes.
Keep in mind that her questioning never makes sense.
That's fine.
Adaris seems to start talking to herself off on the side and just walks off in deep conversation.
So, are you an only child, Ulysses? You seem like an only child.
Sure, why not?
Ooh, a mystery. Clever. When you're that boring, you have to have an air of mystery.
Nope. What you see is what you get.
I will cast Divine Sense.
Okay, what does that do? And what do I have to roll to contest it?
I'm just seeing if you're undead, because no one should be that
Oh,
boring and be alive.
You have no idea of any undead in the immediate vicinity.
So it's just your sense of humor that's dead.
Can't be dead if you never had one, I guess.
Fair point.
Gray, you would notice that Adar has kind of wandered off talking to herself.
That's not the strangest thing I've seen so far today. Like that actually looks, I've seen people do this before. That looks normal.
Having two party members that talk to themselves in insane ways doesn't...
Like, that's not actually that bad.
Could be worse.
His wife is.
Yeah, like I can at least understand this.
Is she out of earshot?
Adar, so you had an earshot?
I wouldn't have gotten fully out of earshot. I think I just turned away.
Okay.
Like, I walked a little bit away, but I wouldn't be totally
alright.
earshot.
What is she talking about?
You can hear her talking. It sounds like she's responding to something, trying to reason out something. So she's basically like, some people don't like talking about stuff. It's fine. You don't have to talk about everything. It's okay. Yeah, some people have secrets, and secrets are totally fine. We don't need to learn about everybody's names right now, and everyone's backstory and deep history. We can just leave it alone. We can just be alone in the woods, and it's the safest place to be.
just take another swig on his flask. Like, just kind of shrug his shoulders like, this looks pretty normal to me.
I'm regretting this entire adventure.
Yeah, right. Belle, or you have anything to...
Oh no, Belle's gonna skip on over, bored of Ulysses. So, how's the conversation going?
What conversation?
The one you were having?
Oh, I didn't mean to talk out loud. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And she just walks back toward the campfire.
wonderful talking with you.
She likes to talk as you make your way back. She likes having conversations with everyone around her. It makes her very happy.
Does she?
I have noticed this. I'm just still getting used to talking to people, I suppose.
We could practice.
Or so, what direction is the bandit camp in? Adaris quickly is like trying to find it out.
It's north. Let's go.
Great. Adaris throws a look over her corner of her shoulder to make sure that Belle hasn't unearthed the wolf's head in the middle of the night. Just looks over to its memorial to make sure it's intact before continuing into the woods.
Great. There's something seriously wrong with these people.
It's okay, dear. We're in the real world. We have to be accustomed to all of their ways. Perhaps they think we're strange.
I try very hard to be strange. I hope so. If they don't, I'm doing something wrong.
Well, progress is progress, I suppose. As he like kind of like gets his belt on and like, you know, puts on his armor.
Okay, so we need to deliver these goods back to Glimmer, right?
But we're hiding the wagon in the clearing for now.
So should we double down on hiding the goods?
Like, hide them more.
Like bury them or something,
We could.
in case their wagon gets stolen or found out.
We could do that.
Are there any visual landmarks that we could possibly use to, or is this just like, are we in the middle of the woods and it's like...
It's the middle of the woods, yes. But Adaris could easily spot this ancient spruce tree.
Mechanics question, would digging a massive hole set us back at any significant amount?
If it's Ulysses and Belle who dig the hole, I would say it takes about 20 minutes, half an hour to stow the goods.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you guys okay with that?
Yeah, totally fine with that.
Okay. Sure. All right.
I'll bring the boxes over.
I'd like to, on the back of the tree, just kind of flavor firebolt a bit. Just burnt handprint
Sure.
on the back of the old tree.
Easily done. Easily done.
Just so I'm pretty sure that I'll recognize this beautiful ancient tree, but in case something happens, we have a mark.
Understood. Thank you. And he starts digging the hole.
So yeah, a half hour goes by. The four of you working together, you easily are able to bury the goods. Make a quick survival check for me, please.
Everybody?
The two people shoveling, so Belle and Ulysses, please.
14.
14.
Natural 20.
Yeah. So with that, the two of you are able to smooth the dirt over, relay the grass like it's almost like a roll of sod. For some flavor, Belle, you take some of the wolf's fur off the hide that's still in the wagon. Sprinkle it over the top of it, along with some like leaves and that you find, and some broken sticks and everything like that. So in about 5 minutes or so, you two have completely camouflaged
And a single
ground.
wildflower.
Sure, and a single wildflower in the very middle of where you were working.
It's a work of art, Ulysses.
Sure, why not?
I was going to say it's serviceable, but I guess I got the measure of you all wrong.
You do a lot of measuring there, son?
Well, yes, don't you?
He's exceptionally good at math.
Oh, I guess somebody around here has to be.
We have the most fascinating conversations.
I beg to differ.
Oh God, you think these are fascinating.
I was going to say so far.
And with that, you the four of you have cleaned up the campsite. It appears as though nothing has ever happened now at this campsite, that no ambush had happened. You've even taken the crates that Ulysses couldn't open, you've buried them with the other goods. And with that, you guys start your way north along the narrow path towards the bandits' hideout. And with that, we'll end this episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Ulysses Highwind here. You can call me Mr. Highwind. Or don't call me anything at all, because I don't want to talk to you. In any case, you should subscribe to our podcast, Myth and Mockery. It's got adventure, drama, and me.